Welcome, it's the Betway Beat, and we're talking Kaizer Chiefs. And the biggest story right now is the derby. Sold out immediately. It's a testimony to how popular this game is in South Africa. It's the biggest game of the season. The country's already starting to talk about it on social media. And I've got with me two Kaizer Chiefs legends, Gould and Tsepo Masilela. Morgan, welcome. Tsepo, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Pete. Thank you so much for inviting me. Tsepo's been in the lineup, so I'm joining him here.
Listen, you're big and strong. You can come in any day. I'm not going to argue against you. I know what happens. You'll knock me down and Tsepo will trample all over me.
A great combination.
Listen, we've had a long chat about this. And, this whole show is about, can Kaizer Chiefs beat Orlando Pirates in this first derby? And if you look at the league tables, the answer is no. But if you and I, the three of us have had a chat, and we decided to do a show on it because you guys have convinced yourselves. I don't know if you've convinced me and the viewers out there, but you've convinced me there are 6 damn good reasons why Kaizer Chiefs can beat Orlando Pirates. And let's unpack those reasons. And I'm going to push back when I think you overstep in the mark here. But I appreciate the fact that you love your team and you're positive about them beating Pirates. But it's going to be a tough game. But I'm going to go through the points. And viewers out there, send us your comments if you agree with the points that Morgan and Tsepo make. But it's difficult to argue against these two guys. They've played in lots of derbies. They've been around. They played the game, hundreds of league games, won league titles the Chiefs played in, and won many derbies. So the first point you guys make are the 6 reasons why Kaizer Chiefs will beat Orlando Pirates in the upcoming derby is that the pressure is on Pirates. Now, that's easy to say, but you've been in that situation. Talk us through it.
Yes, I think the pressure is on Pirates, definitely, because if you look at their form is very, very good right now. However, when it comes to this big game, Chiefs actually knows how to do the business. Because if you look at it, Pirates always plays in the front of a crowd of 40,000, and Chiefs can do it back to back because firstly, the crowd, secondly, they've got nothing to lose, and they want to turn around the tide.
Right.
For me, definitely.
But when you say they've got the pressures on Pirates, I mean, surely in a derby, pressures on both teams, or are you saying that because Tsepo, are you saying because they're top of the league, all the Pirates fans are thinking they're going to wipe the floor with Chiefs. Chiefs fans are just desperate for a win. Are you saying that players will come out and play differently? You've been in that situation.
Peter, when you look at the Pirates of this season, the fans, they believe they're the only team that can push Sundowns and win the league. So they don't have many room for errors. Every time they drop points, they get worried about Sundowns, how Sundowns is going to play. So it puts more pressure on Pirates looking at their position and how they've started and the belief from the Pirates fans that this season they're definitely going to win the league. So Chiefs can play, they're going to go into this game with less pressure. For Kaizer Chiefs, they know they're underdogs going to this game and they can pull a surprise. So definitely the pressure is on Pirates because of the ambitions and how they started the season. Normally we don't see a Pirates that start at 7 games straight wins. So their start puts them under pressure.
So I'll tell you what, I'll give both of you, I can't argue the fact that obviously the pressure's on Pirates because Chiefs have got nothing to lose. And also you highlight a very good point there that Pirates can't afford to drop points because Sundowns are not dropping points. So they've got the pressure of not dropping points. They've got the pressure of playing against in a derby, which is even bigger. They've got to win it. And knowing that if Chiefs lose or draw, it's not the end of the world for Chiefs. But if Chiefs win, this is like their Chiefs' trophy. So Chiefs are playing for a trophy in this game to a certain extent. And Pirates are almost having to defend the trophy. So I agree with you on that one. It's clear that the pressure is on Pirates. Whether they can overcome that or not, I'm sure Pirates fans, and we'll talk to Pirates players next week, that and Cheese and Manib and so on, I'm sure they'll say otherwise, but the game will tell. But it's a very good point, and pressure is a big, big thing in football. The second thing you mentioned, which I can't argue with, is that how Chiefs are playing right now, how Chiefs play. And I thought that you gave a very good analogy of the kind of teams, the kind of games Pirates have been playing against teams, and how Chiefs play very differently. And Tsepo, if you want to take this one first, I thought it was a good point about playing off the front foot and so on.
Yeah, if you look at Pirates, they want to dominate, they want to have possession, and the more you have possession, Peter, you're inviting more players to come forward. Teams that like to dominate and control the game with possession, they likely to commit more bodies forward. So in that case, it can give a Kaizer Chiefs team a chance on transition or on counter attack. Because if you look at Soweto, it's very aggressive going forward. He takes high positions, he's in the box, he wants to score goals, and whether they play Van Rooyen or, they also have the Libito back. So their style of play or their philosophy is for the both fullbacks to be aggressive and go forward, and it leaves spaces behind where Chiefs can catch them. Look at the goals they consider that.
And Chiefs do play with two wide men. Morgan, your comment on that? I mean, it's one thing's fact, which I agree with both of you. Fact is, I don't think a single team that Pirates have played this season will attack them like Chiefs will.
Yeah, definitely. If you look at how Tsepo just unpacked it, Otto goes forward and just wants to bomb forward, and you don't know, is he a wing back? Is he a left back? He just bombs forward because he's been known to be one of the players in the team that brings the glory, including with the little relay.
Okay.
Relay is also on a high, And on the other hand, it's for someone to lift up their hands in the Chiefs defense or the Chiefs defenders to lift up their hands and shut relay up and try and get the ball as soon as possible, just behind Otto or just behind Van Rooyen, because those spaces are gaping spaces. And aerially, if Shivaviro plays and he gets it right and he gets the right crosses into him, he's going to be a threat in the air.
That's a good point. And again, I can't argue with that, although it's very easy on Mohammed Tyson said it brilliantly. Everybody's got a plan until you punch them in the face. So this looks good, but if Pirates score early, it's a different story. But I would give you that. The fact that how Chiefs play is a fact. It's completely different to how every other team has played against them. Then your third point, and I'm very impressed with you guys, because viewers out there, I'm not talking about emotion, these two. You can see they were hard defenders. The first point, all 3 points they've given me so far are facts. Fact, yes, number one, the pressure is on Pirates. Facts number two, how Chiefs or Pirates will play against Chiefs. And number three, the form of the teams over the last two games. And I think that's a very simple one. If you look at the form, as you pointed out to me, in the last 5 games, both teams have won 3 games and both teams have lost 2 games. So if you just looked at the two teams over the last 5 games, they're equal. Well, how will that play? How will Nabi use that?
Look, Nabi's going to use that to his advantage, because all he's going to say, yes, they're on top of the league. They started well, but it might not end that way. And we have a say in this, because of late we've done our homework and we've done steady but surely growing in terms of where we want to go and where we want to be. For them, right. It's a no-brainer. They're going to definitely want to motivate themselves. You know when you have that small pep talk that they can't be better than us. Yes, they might be on top of us for now, but we are a classy team. Their form is great. We are a classy team, and it only takes this one game, because it's going to be, to be honest, for Chiefs, it's going to be a 3-pointer. But for Pirates, if they lose, if they're going to feel like they're losing 6 points. So Nabi needs to really, really work on their psyche to get them to that point where they believe and understand how big of a game this is. And on the flip side of things, they must play freely as much as they want, because Pirates have the pressure on them at home in front of a 90,000 plus capacity. It's just going to spur them on to do well.
Yeah, that talks to your first point again as well. Tsepo, if you look at it, in the last three games, Pirates have lost 1 and won 2. Same with Chiefs, and the same applies to the last 5 games. Form, I know form doesn't count in a big games like this, but do you agree with Morgan that Bobby would use that and say, listen, last 5 games, no difference between the two teams on points gained?
Yeah, definitely. It could be one of the points, to motivate the guys. But again, when you're going to a derby game as an individual, as players, we talk, we don't even look at who they played in their last 3 games period. This is the game, you dreamed of. This is the stage where you want to shine as a player. There's no better stage as playing in the derby sold out affair. So as players, we just want, to do well, win the game. You know what it means to the fans. You know what it means to our families, to our friends. So for players individually, I'm thinking whenever they're sitting and talking, they just want to go and play this game and win it. They're not looking at who they lost against, Pirates, who they beat. So it's a game where form doesn't count. Whoever wants it more is likely to win it.
But you're still saying, Nabi will say, look at the form, we're the same as them. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with you in a minute. Welcome back. It's the Betway Beat, and it's Peter Du Toit with Morgan Gould and Tsepo Masilela, two Kaizer Chiefs players who won everything there is to win in South African football. Right, you're given your 3 points why Kaizer Chiefs will beat Orlando Pirates in the derby. I could fight back on them, but they're solid points because they're based on fact. The next one is it based on fact? I don't know. But the point you make about the weakness, the fourth reason you say why Kaizer Chiefs will beat Orlando Pirates is the weakness in the Pirates team are the two centre backs. Morgan, you're a centre back. What have you seen?
Yeah, this one touches me. It touches me deep down in my heart, because knowing very well that defenders win your championships and strikers win you games. The two centre backs that are currently playing is Sesani and CBC, with a bit of a doubt, which Nda's also coming back. So are they sure that they're going to play? It's going to be setting doubt into the guys' minds, and it just depends who gets the nod. And you definitely know as a player on the day, if you get pulled out on the, let's say on the eve of the game, you don't really give your all and smile for the other player, because it's going to be really tough. But speaking about the two that are currently playing, I think Makaula and his partner does a great job for protecting the two defenders, and they haven't really been tested. I watched the game over the weekend that they were playing in Champions League, and the North Africans gave them a bit something to think about when it comes to crosses and the way they also play the ball. They overplay the ball, not overplaying it because they don't know what they do. They want the knockbacks and the heading down. So that was a big factor for them. So for me, these are the two that need to be tested. And Shivaviro has a great opportunity, given the fact maybe Tashrik will also get the nod to say, let's see you as a new Chiefs player. I know him. He's very robust when it comes to myself and Tsepo have played against him back in the days. He came and he made a huge mark when he came and he played against us back when we played against Cape Town City. So I think if he comes with that same hunger and fight, Sesani and CBC, including Nda, is also going to be having a huge problem, because I don't also see Nda winning all the aerial balls when it comes to Tashrik. Tashrik is something else in the air.
You make a very good point, Morgan, because that could be the surprise move that Chiefs does. I didn't think about it. They could well play him there and get crosses in, and he is aggressive. He's good in the air, and the experience. He's not going to be scared. Good point. Take what you say, in particular about the two centre backs. You just reminded me when against Magesi, those crosses when they lost 3-1. Two of those goals came from crosses really wide at 30 meters to see that ball, to attack the ball. They didn't attack the ball. The strikers came in late. The fullback didn't give them a warning. They were caught ball watching 2 goals. So I don't know, Tsepo, do you see the same? Well, you also brought the point up that's where Pirates' weakness is, and Chiefs can take advantage of that. Do you agree with Morgan's points, or do you want to add to them?
Yeah, I can add, the two full backs of of Orlando Pirates. I know they aggressive, they like going forward. So, and again, when you look at those Maguese's goal, the left back's positioning, you can also question that. When they scored those two goals, where was he? Look at the guy that scored. It's not only the centre backs. The one at the far post. He got to the ball first and scored. So I would also say, once you can turn their defender, and try attack the space behind them, that's when they're gonna be tested in that game.
I think you're both spot on. That's the area where if Chiefs are going to win it, whether it's Vilakazi or Sereno or Ponsani or Moby, whoever plays wide, or the new guy. His name,
Can I just add a little bit onto that, Pete? Also, the telepathic understanding also will go to another level where how they consider the goals against Magezi is when you have your left back like myself and Tsepo, will have understanding that if it goes past me, it needs to find you. And if it goes past him, it needs to find me. And the communication also. On the day, 90,000, the communication, you're not going to even hear yourself cough. It's going to be a huge, huge problem. So when it also comes to the comms, you can see that they're lacking in that regard. So I think if they really want to expose them, they need to do their homework and they need to go the extra mile. And the extra mile is definitely going to expose them.
Another point the fifth point you guys brought up, which is also a fact, and I can't argue against it. I could argue against it in a different way, but it's still a fact. You said that, and Morgan, you made a good point about it, is that Pirates are beatable. Then the three teams that beat them, Stellenbosch, Cape Town City, and Magesi, are all below Kaizer Chiefs. So three teams that, if you look at the league table, and it doesn't lie, three teams that are not as good as Kaizer Chiefs beat them. So, as your words were, why can't Kaizer Chiefs? And then you brought up something you said about, you made a good point about teams below you and so on.
Yeah. I think if anything, if you want to win a league, you need to know how to win the unwinnables, where the unwinnables are the so-called smaller teams. And those are the most difficult ones to beat, because each and every player in the so-called smaller teams are wanting what you have or what you are playing for. They want to find themselves in the next transfer window, like now this transfer window. They want to be spoken about in the next transfer window, saying, we've done it, we've beat Chiefs, and you want to stand out as a player. So definitely those smaller teams are really, really hard. And the greater teams know how to beat all the teams below them, and all the teams on top of them will either get a point, or, you have to just, depending on how well you planned your 5-game form. And your 5-game form right now for Pirates and for Chiefs, it's lingering on should I say, they even Stevens now. So now this one, from Chiefs coming from the bottom, it's always best rising from the bottom to the top.
Yeah, and as you said earlier to me, that Nabi will say to these teams, to Chiefs, listen, that they've been beaten by teams that we better than. So why can't we do it? Tsepo? I mean, you brought that point up as well. That's 5 points. Anything to add there, Tsepo?
Yeah, definitely. No, why can't it be Chiefs? Because as we said again, it's nice when you go into this game and you're underdogs. So Chiefs going to this game, they are underdogs definitely. And on paper, everyone is saying Pirates is gonna, hammer Kaizer Chiefs. So it's nice going to these games being underdogs.
So you've linked this to the very first one about pressure again. Let's take your last point, and you covered it, and I think it's a very interesting one. It's debatable whether it's going to happen, but your last point, the sixth reason why you say that Kaizer Chiefs will beat Orlando Pirates is, number one, that Sereno's back. He's back training, and he's pretty certain to be either on a bench or a starter. And there's no doubt, which I agree with you, when Sereno played at the start of the season, Chiefs look a way better side. And then, Morgan, you added that these youngsters are playing with absolutely no fear. Shaba, Vilakazi, and Zwane, who was man of the match against. So they've all coming into form. I know Shaba's been injured, but he should be playing as well. And these youngsters, they're really talented bunch of young players. So between them and Sereno, you think this, and with the Sereno factor and the youngster factor, is another reason why they will beat Orlando Pirates, because they play without fear. Tsepo?
Yeah, definitely. Their combination, and if you look at how they play, they're starting to gel. Going forward, and if they have Sereno back in that team, they are a different Kaizer Chiefs team when Sereno is playing. We have to be honest about that one. the number of chances he creates for the team, and like in the final third, he makes a difference. And also for the youngsters, when they look at Relay, he's doing well at Pirates, and it's an opportunity for them. These are games where the national team coach will be sitting there watching. If you do well in the derby, you shine, you might get a call up. So it's everything is there for them to play for, and the motivation will be there, obviously, to get a win in this game.
Morgan, Sereno, if he's playing and he gets the ball, the crowd goes crazy. That's a big noise. It's a big noise when you've got 40, 50, 60,000 Kaizer Chiefs fans cheering when Sereno gets the ball. And I'm sure you guys as defenders know we want to get the ball to him because we want him to play. I mean, is he going to make that? Will he make that big a difference that they can win the game because of him?
Definitely, it takes nothing away. I mean, the 12th man in the stand is going to play a huge role. And the Kaizer Chiefs faithfuls come out in their numbers. And when he gets onto the ball, he's become a favorite since he's moved to Chiefs. And his performance that he gave when he introduced himself to Chiefs was a great one. And added to that, the youngsters are also pulling their weight. And they actually coming on board, playing with no fear. The likes of Zwane, the likes of Vilagazi, Duba himself also. As you say, Shabazz is in the lingerings, whether he's going to play or not. With Dupriest not being there, I think Sereno is a perfect fit for him to come into the team and take the baton on and take it to another level. So the kids also around him that can also get that sense of no fear, because he's definitely, you can tell he's a South American. The arrogance he plays with is going to rub off onto the youngsters, and he's going to give them that motivation that no matter what happens, let's have fun, let's play football.
And it'll be like a new signing for Chiefs if he plays, because they've been without him for so long. He'll lift the whole team. I agree with it. And it'll be interesting if, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, Maccabi Lilepu, if that signing is confirmed, which it hasn't been as yet, and that means he's still got over a whole week to get here and train with the team, that could be the seventh reason, the unknown factor, that it'll be 6+1 at that stage. Morgan, you want to say something? Sorry.
Yeah, no, I think also the names that have been going around, the Jamie Webbers, I think in my personal view, and that would be a player that will also just shake up that midfield and give the current players a run for their money, because also a player that's also been around, he's fallen off because of unforeseen circumstances on not football things, but now he gets a lease in life to be just looked at. So if he gets the nod and it comes in that it's true, he's actually got something that he can add to it. It's going to be really difficult for international to come in 7 days before Derby and also get the nod by the coach, because that's going to be putting a whole lot of pressure on him. However, the fear of the unknown is actually the way it's going to go.
So now it's 6 plus potential 7, another one, 7 reasons. But by the way, Jamie Webber, I thought he was going to be a super player when he first got on the scene. I thought he was a big one for the future. So hopefully this resurrects his career. Let's take a short break and we'll be back.
Hey, Taola.
All right, here we go.
Ko Betway ba tshepela hore o tshwantse o betjhe ka tsela e nepahetseng. Ka nako e nngwe ho tlamehile hore o ikhule hanyane. Ka nako tse ding
O ska leka go busha tse di latlhegileng.
Nakusasa kuse olunye usuku.
Dlala ngokusemandleni wakho.
Ge o tlhoka thuso go gona.
hopola, bet responsibly.
Welcome back. The Betway Beat on Soccerbeat. Tsepo Masilela and Morgan Gould, two big men of South African football. Right, you've heard the 6 reasons why they believe Kaizer Chiefs will beat Orlando Pirates in the derby next week. Pirates fans out there, I'm not saying it. They asked for the show. They wanted to go out there and tell the world of South Africa, why Chiefs will win. I take my hats off to them. I could argue with some of them, but it's their show. That's what they're saying. We'll do Pirates next. But two of you, I want a prediction. Morgan, give me a prediction.
My prediction for the derby is definitely going to be Kaizer Chiefs coming in with a 2-1, narrow 2-1 win on the day, just to make the faithfuls happy and also just to spur a bit of things in the Betway Premiership.
Good. 2-1. Tsepo, give me your prediction. I'll be interested in what you're going to say. I'll tell you why.
Peter, oof. You know, I think I've changed my mind a bit. You know, not so long ago, I went for Pirates, but you know, I think Chiefs fans, they deserve this win, man. I think, and the players, they feel, you know, they want to give something to the fans, and I'll also go with a 2-1 win for Kaizer Chiefs. You know, I'm
So Chiefs fans
hoping.
out there, you could well win this. But Tsepo Masilela, an ex-Chiefs player, after we did the Gould and Arrows game, he said he can't see Chiefs beating them. I don't know what Morgan, I don't know what you gave him to eat or drink or what you said to him, but Chiefs fan, he's changed his mind. So 2-1 to Kaizer Chiefs is what you both say. We'll talk after the derby. Thanks, guys. Tsepo, take us out.
Thank you, Peter. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Cheers.
Yaka!